Over the last 2 months, I have been creating my very own forever world, along with you guys. We have reached 100 days yet again, so join me today as we walk through day 100 all the way to day 200. Hello you guys, welcome back to the cafe and welcome back to my forever world. Today we are playing another set of 100 days here. Make sure to grab yourself some snacks and some coffee. This is gonna be a fun one. So grab your snacks, sit back, and I hope you enjoy. Hi, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my forever world. I'm so happy you're here today and I'm so glad to be back after a short little break after recording my 100 days video. By the way, thank you so much for the support. Let's get into today's video. Make sure you get all your snacks and coffee and enjoy your time here today. So, to try to keep my progress on track, I made a little to-do list. So today we want to finish the mountain, finish the tunnel, and build our second barn. But you can see a sneak peek of what is to come. I thought a super cool idea would be to build a home for my dogs. So behind this painting, there's, well, nothing yet. But don't you worry, there will be a beautiful home for my puppies coming soon. Right, dogs? Anyway, back to it. Now you guys left some great names for my dogs, so we are going to name them now. Our yellow collared dog will be Buster and our red collared dog will be Bucket. I absolutely love these names. Thank you guys for all of them. Welcome Buster and Bucket to the family. So next on the agenda is this big old tunnel. So I wanted the walls of the tunnel to be oak wood. Even though my ceiling is spruce wood, I just want it all to match and be a nice plain color. So I go through breaking all of the walls and going in with my oak wood planks. Also, let's address the elephant in the room. My allergies are killing me, so just ignore the slightly scratchy throat. This is a project we won't finish today, but I got started on just making this cave a little bit cuter. And then that's all we do today for this tunnel. So the sun is setting, but I want to go and take my shears and gather some leaves because I really want to add some leaves in my tunnel. I know I said we were done, but leaves always just finish everything off really well and they just make it look more full and complete. I love the leaves. After I cut down about 2 trees, I went home to sleep because, as always, I'm scared of the dark because I don't want to die. In the morning, I went down to my basement just as a shortcut so that I can go straight to my tunnel and get to work placing down these leaves. Now, this might freak some people out, but there really was no method to my madness here. I just put these leaves everywhere I could. It gets a little cramped, but you know what? We're not going to use this tunnel very often, so I'd rather it just look good. You know, looks over usability. Is that a word? Well, it is today. Looks over usability. So I quickly wrapped up this project and headed back on home. As you can see, we leave ourselves about 1 block that always stays clear. But you know what? I'm personally okay with it. I love the leaves, I love the particles. This is worth it in my book. And we could now finish the tunnel off of our to-do list. That feels good. We will now be starting our biggest project of today. In this huge open area, we are going to be building our second barn. Finally, I make my way down to gather up all the resources I want to use for this build. I start by getting some granite, I then get some deep slate. I go up and put that in a chest because my inventory is full. I get more deep slate, some glass, some spruce, a couple bones to grow some saplings, and of course some oak wood. So now that we have everything to get started on our barn, I make my way back up to my animal area and I put everything I just gathered into my chest, and then I go around and place some saplings, so hopefully by the time we need the wood, they're all grown up. Now it begins the task of actually getting this barn built. This barn is for my chickens and my pigs, and it is quite a big one. So I start building and I have a rude little tree grow, so I had to move the camera. We have a couple sections of this barn. We have the smaller area I'm building now, which I put the chickens in, but actually the pigs will live there. Then we have the main barn area, which is the big one I'm building the pillars for now. And I wanted to go with kind of the same color palette as the other one, but it's definitely a completely different vibe. But I'm really enjoying how this one turned out, and we make a little side cage, I don't want to say cage, but a place for my chickens later on. And I went ahead and did the path blocks to make it look like a very heavily traveled area, and I went and grabbed my chickens to take over there. But again, later on we'll put our pigs there, and our chickens will go in a cute little pen off to the side of the barn. Once I got these little chickies inside, I fed them the one seed I had. They couldn't make babies, I'm sorry. And then I got right back to building. So right now I go and finish up the pillars, and then I start putting in the basis for the wall. I do a little double two-dimension wall. I don't know how to say, okay, whatever. And then I make these doorways with some slabs and stairs. And I'm just trying to add a little bit of detail. I will say, in hindsight, I wish I added a bit more pointy peaks, kind of one to match my other barn, and two just to stick with the more medieval theme I was trying to go for with these builds. But that's okay, I get started on that last wall, and then I'll go over to the other side and add in the windows where the oak wood is, and also up top. This gives you a bit of a better view of how the entrances will look. I do like it. There's just some things I would have done differently, but if all of the surrounding builds are beautiful and medieval, it will be okay. And if you see on the right side, some pillagers spawned in, and so we go take care of them. I don't know why they come here, like why are you here? We've had them like 4 times, so I just go ahead, get rid of them quickly, and then I get some leads to take those llamas from the wandering trader because he's nowhere to be found. And I couldn't find the white llama. Well, that's because he got killed by a pillager. It was quite tragic. He started spitting at them because they killed the wandering trader, and then they killed him. So no white llama for us, just the brown one. Back to the roof though, we do double layers, so there's a top part of this barn, and I may go back later on and just switch up the roof a bit, but for now it homes our animals, so I couldn't ask for more. I think if anything, this top little roof would be the one I change a bit, just doing the roof pattern on the other barn right here, because it'd be super easy to go in and change. But what do you guys think? Let me know. At the end of the video, we'll see the finished product, and I actually think it looks fine. I'm just being a little bit picky. Here's that chicken coop I was talking about. We're getting started on it right now. As you can see, I just thought the side of the barn looked really plain, and I didn't know how to decorate it or detail it well enough, so I'm like, okay, chicken coop it is. And I feel like the inside is just too big for animals, and so we use that for some storage later. But here's that little chicken coop, and I finally moved my chickens, knowing that the pigs should be in this slightly bigger area, and the chicken coop, I don't know, it gives more chicken coop vibes on the side of the barn. So I moved those chickens, and we actually do breed them this time. They deserve it. They've been rehomed so many times. And then I of course use my little shovel and do a highly traveled area, if that's even what it's called. I don't know. I mean, it just looks good and I like it. So we just add those quick little details, and there is my chicken coop finished. So we're on to the inside of the barn, and I start by making a little, not a pillar, what's the opposite of a pillar? Well, the thing that just looks like it holds everything together. I did it with some stripped spruce, and then I hung a little lantern, and I placed a crafting table because it's a barn. We're gonna need it, you know? We will add a few more details later, but I just went in with some chests and barrels and crafting tables to store the carrots, the seeds, etc. And I think it looks great. Last thing I did was go around and add some buttons because, like leaves, I will put them at any time I get the opportunity to use them. So it's a fresh new day, and I start by gathering leaves because yes, I am going to put leaves all over this barn. So just enjoy the sound of the shearing leaves. It's beautiful. Once I was finished with that, I did a small little wheat harvest, very small, not the whole patch, just because I wanted to get some hay bales made because now we are going to decorate around the barn. If you watched the previous episodes, this is a very me design. The hay, the trapdoor, the fence, the lantern, but I think it looks great. So I just make my way around the barn, putting down some hay bales, some barrels, and some lanterns, just sprucing it up a bit, making a little bit more fun details around. I think it turns out looking really great, and I like it. It looks like a barn that is used. This is inside the barn. We add some hay bales, and instead of some barrels, I added some looms. Not like I'm probably going to use them, but I think it's a cute little detail. And this is the last little section. We do a hay bale, a loom, a fence, a lantern, and a little trapdoor on top of the loom. I think I love it. Back inside, I just added some more barrels around. We actually will use most of these for the carrots, the seeds to breed, the eggs we will collect, and I think it just makes it look more complete. We will add some pathing in here as well, just to add like a little bit of a flooring. And that's the inside. I actually think it looks great. I think I filled it out quite well. It's a nice little barn area. Next, we are on to the leaves. My favorite part, other people's least favorite part. I will say I went a little overboard with the leaves, but not to worry, I do go back and fix it. I get rid of a lot because I kind of went crazy with the leaves because in my mind, leaves equal beauty. Not necessarily true. Anyways, once I finished that, I went in with my shovel and made a little path block mayhem in my barn. This will be like the flooring, looking like it's really trampled over and walked all through, and I like it, just a cute little detail. And once I was done, I went through and added my last 8 pieces of oak wood in here as well. Now the next project of today is my little 2-leveled pond, if that's what you want to call it. At some point I want there to be a river going through where all my animals are and leading down to this pond as well. Maybe we'll even hook it up with my actual river/pond in front of my house at some point. I don't know. Anyways, I really just wanted something in this big open space behind my house just so it just starts to look more full and more complete in my area. So I thought, what better than a pond? Because I can't terraform, but I do think I can pond. So I just dug out these ponds to be nice and deep, look more natural, look more full, and I connected them with this little waterfall, which I realized the physics of this, they don't really make sense in my mind. Anyways, on to decorating. We did some pumpkins, we did some sugar cane. Because I don't have lily pads, I actually used the drip leaves from the Lush Cave. I don't know if I'll ever get lily pads, but right now I don't have them. I used some deep slate to add these little, I don't know, rock formations around my pond, and I think they look cute. And then I, of course, added some leaves because would it be me without the leaves? Nope. And I was very proud of this. It looks great. And now on to the next project of today. So for this, we start in my dirt chest, then go get some cobblestone, and then go back to my dirt chest, and these are the supplies we will be using. If I said I was excited, I would be a liar. Yep, so today we're finishing the mountain behind the barns because I literally shaved it in half when I built the first barn and it just looks dreadful. But what I can't do is terraform. So I was quite terrified to do this. I don't want to ruin it because my barns are very cutesy, but I just started. You know, if it gets bad, I can touch it up later. So I thought, wow, this speed build or speed terraform is playing. I would just take this time like I do at least once a video and say, wow, thank you for all of the support on the channel recently. I love this series and it makes me so happy to know that there are other people who do as well. I feel like for me, this channel or YouTube has just been a really fun outlet for creativity, but also just a de-stressor. I love being able to just sit down and have something, one, to just fill my time, but then it's something I love to do. I love to put a lot of time and effort into something that I'm proud of and something I really enjoy, and so seeing that pay off recently has been really cool, and I'm just so thankful for the opportunity that you all have given me, and I'm so thankful that you guys really enjoy this series because I do too. So enough of that sappy, cheesy stuff. Let's get to talking about the series. If you guys have any build ideas or fun things you want to see in my forever world, let me know. I have a couple ideas, but on top of that, I'm open to whatever you guys think. I've gotten a couple comments and I've added it to my to-do list and I'm excited to get to them at some point, but let me know. Anyways, back to the video. So since my little mountain was finally done, I decided to put in an actual staircase to get up to my garden because I've been scaling the mountain like a mountain climber ever since I chopped the mountain in half. So I decided to go for a 2-block stair, and I went for a pretty basic design, unlike my stairs coming to the animal area. Just kind of wanted to get it done. Because I go up here all the time, I just wanted something efficient, and we will make it look good, but my need for efficiency was a bit more important than making it look incredible. So I just made it go up the mountain. I did add a little bit of like dimension to it by not making everything super symmetrical and perfect, and then the top staircase is 3 wide, and so yeah, it's fun, it's nice. And then I just completed the pathway from the garden crops and then going through the stairs, and for decoration I went in with some fences, leaves of course, and lanterns to 1, light it up, 2, make sure I never fall off and die, and 3, just so it looks a bit nicer to the eye. Once I was finished, I went and got a nice little look at it, and I love it. It's super, super cute. Now I wanted to add the same fence and leaf barrier to where I'm going to have the path going through this entire area. So I added one right at the bottom of the stairs. And then right on the other side as well, just kind of showing where I want the path to be. And to make it easier on myself to know where I want to put these, next thing I did was just throw a bunch of random path blocks everywhere just so I know where I want to add my path, because I'm going to do the same mixing that I do everywhere else in my world, where it's stone, gravel, path block, and a couple types of wood. So once I was done, I went through and dug out around the path blocks and just added a mix of a variety of blocks just to get these paths looking completed. And literally adding paths made the entire area so much more elevated. Like, it looked so much better once the paths were put in. I'm extremely happy with how this place is starting to look. Because I'd finished the paths, I was able to easily go in and add in all of my fences and lighting around the entire area. I know jack-o'-lanterns are kind of like Halloween-y. I don't know, I like them because I love putting pumpkins around, and when it can double as a light, that just makes my life so much easier. So I went ahead and just put all of my leaves and everything down. I feel like we did so much detail work today that my area is starting to look so lived in, and it's beginning to look like my little home, and I absolutely love it. So So I just finished up over by the stairs leading up to my animal pen, and this area is pretty much done for today and I absolutely love it. Before we end, I wanted to give you a quick overview, and we set up our to-do list for the next episode, but knowing me, we'll probably do this and a bunch of other random things, or none of it at all. I wanted to quickly just start mining out this dog area. Until my pickaxe broke, we didn't make very much progress. Homegirl was in the red, so we just did as much as we could. I popped a torch down and I called it a day. I really do hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you again for all of your love and support, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. With that arrow plunging through my lungs. Oh my. Hello you all, welcome back to my Minecraft's Forever world. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm so excited to have you joining me at the cafe. Today we have a super fun episode, so grab your snacks, grab your coffee, and let's go. So we're starting down in the chest room today. This is our to-do list for today. We will see what I do and what I do that's not even on this list. But I want to build a retaining wall. I want to build our XP farm finally and finish the cave by my mine. But before any of that, I want to enjoy and have a slow morning and go do a little bit of crop harvesting this morning. It's been a while, so I'm excited to get back to our roots and just go see our beautiful crop farms. And before we do too much more of that, I have a super exciting announcement for you guys. So you may have seen, or maybe you haven't, I have introduced channel memberships. This isn't a requirement, this isn't even an ask, but if it's something you want to do, I wanted to make it available for you. There's so many different perks, and just to list a few, you will have emojis, early access to videos, shoutouts, members only videos, and so much more. Instead of just having one tier, I wanted to have multiple, so if this is something you wanted to do, hopefully there's a price range that is right for you. So anyways, this is my short little segment. If you guys are interested in becoming a member of the channel, there will be a link in the description. You can go ahead and click after watching this video. Now that is all from me, so enjoy the rest of this Forever World episode. I totally forgot I found a dog in between episodes. Let me know if you have any name suggestions. Once I had finished harvesting all of my fields, I had so many wheat seeds, I decided to use my composter without realizing I can totally automate this. So this entire of my little chest room and over to the staircase down to my zombie spawner. Because today I'm finally going to get to work on this XP farm. So I started by lighting up this spawner and getting rid of any leftover zombies and made my way on in here. So to make a zombie spawner, you need to break open the walls 4 away from the spawner on every side. So I started and got that finished. And then you have to go 3 blocks under the spawner as well. So we went ahead and opened up this room completely. I also went ahead and mined that redstone because you can never have enough. I made an infinite water source and put a water bucket in every corner, and then went ahead and mined 10 blocks down the center block. Once I was down there, I put together a little room for where I will collect the zombies. This is not gonna look this ugly forever, but we don't finish it in today's episode, but I got the basis of the zombie farm finished. I then broke the torches and closed it off. And I went for my first kill of the zombies. I thought a good thing to do while they're spawning was do a little excavation around the cave. Also, I see a flaw in my design. I forgot to add a slab on top of the spawner so they can spawn on the top. But I do go back and fix that, so no worries. I just opened up the cave a little bit while they're spawning in. I did do some AFKing as well because I want to try to get some good diamond enchants in this episode. One of them even spawned with a diamond sword, but he literally did not drop it, so that was such a bummer. Once I got up to 36 levels, I made my way out of the cave and went back home. We're gonna have to come back down here and finish all of this. I don't even have a full staircase, but today is not that day. We have more things to get done. Once I made it back to the surface, I went and swam on home. I gathered my resources that I would need to do some enchanting, so I just grabbed all of my diamonds, some sticks, and any pretty much broken diamond tool I had laying around as well. And we are off to my enchanting cave to hopefully get some good enchants today. I feel like I'm ready to upgrade from iron. So I went ahead and made myself some fresh tools and armor. This is my first set of diamond armor, so it's a very exciting day. And I quickly realized I don't have a level 30 setup. So I was like, these enchants are terrible. Well, that's because I don't have enough bookshelves. So as quick as I came in, I quickly left this cave to go get what I need to make some more bookcases, because the 2 I added was not even enough. So my plan was to quickly go into my chest room and grab the sugarcane and paper that I have been collecting, and then make my way up to my barns. And in my cow farm, I do have a chest full of leather, so I grabbed that so I don't have to kill any cow babies today. I quickly realized I don't even know how to make books, so that was a really fun experience. And I just craft a bunch of books and make some bookcases to finally get a level 30 enchant and get back on track. I went ahead and put my leather away and then made my way back to the enchanting cave to hopefully get at least a couple good enchants on a couple things. The sun was setting, but I didn't mind. I would be in my cave safely, hopefully. And I just took some time to put these books around, and I went for more of a sporadic, messy look, but I kept checking every time just to make sure it got my enchanting table to level 30, and once it did, I was good to start enchanting. And I just love how the books look. I grabbed my lapis and didn't get very lucky today, but I was able to enchant a couple things. Once I dropped under 30 levels, I figured we could just revisit this at some point later. So I put everything away and we left to head on to our next project. So to start, I gathered all of the blocks I would be using in this project and placed some furnaces to get some cobblestone melting into stone so I can make some stone bricks. The palette for this build is very gray, as I'm sure you can see, but I'm quite confident that this retaining wall will end up looking very good. I took a break to kill some of these pillagers that I have been hearing for the past couple days in this video. I'm not sure why we always get them here. If anyone knows why or how to contain them, let me know. There was also this one in a little boat, and I decided we would leave him be. So every now and then we were happy to hear. And finally, I am back in our mining cave and we are going to tackle this project today. First things first, we went through with the dirt just to try to make this have a little bit more of a natural cave look, which I don't know if I ever fully achieved, but I'm content with how it looks. But I still used a lot of dirt just to try to blend it out a bit more than it was. This took quite a while because this is a huge room, so I used a lot of dirt around the walls, but then I also filled in the ceiling part as well, just to make it all flat. I know usually like a cave it wouldn't look like that, but again, I don't care. I just wanted it to look as natural as I possibly could. Once I was finished, I put in some spore blocks and then made some hanging lanterns around the area as well. I put them all in different areas and tried to make them all different lengths. I think there's a couple that are the same, but for the most part, they're all different lengths. Once I was done hanging the lanterns, I did put some on the ground and the walls also, just to light it up a bit more. And I switched between deep slate walls and spruce fences. Once I was finished with that, I threw around some glowberries that hopefully grow at some point. And it wouldn't be me if I didn't put a bunch of leaves everywhere, so I just put some leaves sporadically around, some on the walls, the ceiling, and then I love the addition to a couple waterfalls around the area as well, coming out of the walls. Surrounding us is a ton of water caves, so I felt like this was pretty realistic. One of these waterfalls I made into a little mini pond, and I tried to make it look somewhat natural. There's a bunch of layers and different blocks in the bottom of this tiny pond. But I needed a place for my 3 axolotls that we got a couple episodes ago. So I thought this lush cave type of deal would be a great place for them. So I go ahead and throw in my 3 axolotls. So if you have any names for them, go ahead and let me know. They're happily swimming around. I love them. Pink, brown, and yellow. Then I just put some fences, not that this is going to keep them in, but it looks cute. And we're done. So because we finished that cave, I can mark everything off of our to-do list today. And to finish it off, I decided we are going to build a little home for our dogs. Now, like everywhere I mine into in this world, there is a water cave always somewhere near me. So we did mine into a water cave that I just patched up, and this actually is connected to my big cave. So there was a huge section I actually don't need to do any mining out in because there's like a little room in the cave. So anyways, I just used some oak wood for my walls, and this will be for the whole entire room and this little hallway. And I had to make the hallway because I kept mining into other builds we had around. I wanted to incorporate some different blocks that I haven't used, like always. So I used some copper blocks for the floor and then andesite again for the ceiling. This will be the main room where we home a couple dogs. I don't think this is big enough for every single dog I'm ever gonna get, but this will be for our main group of dogs that we want to keep close by at the house. For this room, I'm doing a copper floor mix matching between the whole block and the brick. Of course, the same oak wood for the wall, and then andesite for the ceiling, mixed in between smooth and not smooth. Once I had fully gotten this room built, we go in and do some decorating. So enjoy a little decorating montage. This is the final space. I brought up the dog from the farm, gave her purple collar, so let me know if you have any names for her as well. So my dog and the 3 axolotls. But that's going to wrap it up for today. But as always, thank you for watching my forever world. Thank you for being here, and thank you for getting me to a position where I can even have channel memberships. All of that information will be down below for you. In the next episode, I'm going to do some exploring and mining along with a little Q&A. So if you have any questions, let me know down below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello you all, and welcome back to my Minecraft Forever world. Today is going to be a bit of a different video, but it's going to be super fun. We will be doing a Q&A while I do some mining and resource gathering. dig up your fossils and bring dinosaurs back to life, and just the complexity is super duper fun. So that would probably be my all-time favorite mod in the world. This question is so kind. How do you build such cool and cozy builds? They're awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'm not really sure. Sometimes I just start doing random things, and if it looks good, I'll keep it. If not, I'll try again. I've also been, playing for quite a while. I feel like I've been able to figure out how I like to do things, and kind of my normal, there's always a lot of similarities in the things I build or what I put into my world. I'd say also I often look at pictures. If I'm building a barn, I will look up a super specific style of a barn in real life, or I'll see something in real life and I'll be like, I want to build that. So finding inspiration from places around me is something I do too. This comment has a couple questions, so I'll go through and answer them one by one. Thank you for the congrats. I really appreciate it. I'll still go ahead and read them out just in case there's somebody not watching the video but listening. Don't worry, I got you. What is your history with Minecraft? How did you find out about the game? Tell us about your first time playing and how long you've been playing. I think I may have mentioned this in the first ever Forever World episode. I went to pick out a game from Walmart with my grandpa and my cousin. It was a huge family trip and there was a lot of people in town, and he said we could pick out one game, and I wanted Minecraft, he wanted Call of Duty, and of course we settled for Minecraft. This was probably the year it came out. The game was very underdeveloped, probably 2012 at the latest, and we played for hours. I fell in love with the game, and I would always play it with my cousin. I didn't have it on the computer. We played on the Xbox, and it was something we would always do when we were together. And he would always be burning down my buildings, and I would be trying to find animals. It was always such a fun time. So to answer your question, over 10 years for sure, probably closer to 12-ish, around there. But of course there were gaps, times I didn't play, times I forgot about the game, but I've pretty much been playing it since the start. Similar to the question before about buildings, where did you learn to build? Is your style inspiration from someone else? So the answer is the same as before, but it's probably similar to a lot of people. Our brain sees something and it often replicates it similarly, differently, quite the same. That's just how our mind works. So I'm not going to say it's special or completely different than what I've seen, but something I've always tried to do is make it my own. I would always watch videos of these people who have these worlds with insanely huge builds, and it was incredible and amazing, but just not something I could ever keep up with or do. But I think because of that, there's some small things I grabbed from anything I've ever seen or taken from any video. So the inspiration probably comes from millions of different places. What I see in the real world, what I see in movies, videos, and it's all stored away in my mind somewhere. This last question is super fun, but it's about my channel name, Jossie's Little Cafe. Elaborate on the cafe part. Well, I'm probably always found drinking coffee, sitting in a cafe, thinking about coffee, planning my next cafe trip, something with coffee. If you know me at all, I am a coffee addict, and I thought it was just cute. It sounded fun, and someday it's a dream to have my own cafe, but I think my fiance would say it's a poor financial decision. Anyway, it's just a play on words. I think it's fun and something that I could quote-unquote build a brand around. For example, the members on my channel are different types of coffee, and I just think it's super fun and cute. There's really no huge meaning behind it. It just is me and something very real to me. Plus, in my hardcore series, halfway through the episode, I always do a little sip break or bev break, and I think it's fun because you're at the cafe, quote unquote, and it's just a check-in where I remind you, go get something to drink, go get your water, go get your coffee, go get your tea. So go ahead and do that right now too. This next question ties into the last one. How long have I been playing Minecraft, and when did you decide to start doing YouTube? So I answered the how long I've been playing question before. I thought I would start doing YouTube because I think it's a fun little outlet for me. It's something fun to do. I love anything creative just to express myself. I think the Forever World videos, you probably see it the most. Those take hours and days to do. There's so many different angles and shots and recording and editing that I love it. It's so fun for me to just do something and do it to the best of my abilities, and I'm always competing with myself to try to make something better than the time before. But I think it's just a fun space for me to be, and it gives me something to do when I have nothing to do, or when I just want a break or a de-stress or just an outlet in general. I guess the question was really when, not why. So about 2 months ago. And this question is what made you want to start a YouTube channel. And thank you for your congrats. I have a Forever World that I've been playing with my fiance for about, 2 years, a year and a half, something like that. And every time I would go on to play or build something, if I wasn't talking with him, I would be watching a Minecraft video on my second monitor. And it was just fun to always watch people talking or playing or doing these aesthetic videos, but with a game that I play with my fiance. Like, it was super fun for me to see just a different way people did videos, not like the crazy loud in your face, but calming and relaxing, and something that's more of me, but also something that just takes more time creatively, and I loved that. So everything I said before, probably plus this aspect more so. So for me, truly it was something I just started for fun, and something that I saw being done, and it piqued my interest because it's quite opposite to a lot of the Minecraft videos that like blow up or go viral, and it's like loud screaming how to get diamonds in the first 10 seconds, and I'm like, wait, I want it to be relaxing and something fun to see, and something that's taken time, and it's more of a craft. And so it seemed like something I wanted to try to do, and it's been fun. This question I'm super excited for. Do you have any channels on YouTube you occasionally watch? Yes, I do, and if I found you every single one, there would be a million. So I found you 8 that I can't wait to show you, and I hope that you will go watch them too. I will link their channels all in the description. They're all wonderful. I think if you enjoy watching my videos, you will very much enjoy these as well. They're all similar creators in the way, I guess, that they're all girls, and I love watching them. So let me show you. First, we have Buzzycombs, who's currently playing a dinosaur save, which I love. Next is Annie. She is super adorable and is currently playing Better Minecraft, which has been so hilarious to watch. Next is Mother Rose. She has a super calming and aesthetic Minecraft save she's been playing. The Amber has a video I'm currently watching, which is the 100 Days Cottagecore Minecraft, which is so fun and super chill, super cutesy, but her videos are very cottagecore and I think you'd love them. Grace actually just started her Minecraft Forever World with the Spring to Life update, and I loved the first episode. You should go check it out, but she also plays Stardew Valley and some other games which are so cozy and fun. Hey It's Emmy has a cozy adventure series that I watch the second it releases. She has super fun, cozy, relaxing videos. Cherry Blonde has a modded series that I've been loving to watch. It's hilarious, she's so much fun, and you should totally check it out. Jitterybug is currently playing a hardcore world, which I've been loving to watch. She settled in a beautiful spruce biome, and her world is coming along so well. I could only dream, but she has super cozy, more long form videos that I always love to watch. These truly are just a few. There's so many amazing creators in this space and along the same vein of my channel, so I'm sure you will love these. Again, go check them out. They will all be in the description for you. Next question. Thank you so much for your congrats. I already answered question 2, so I'll answer question 1, which is, what is your favorite biome in Minecraft? I think it's always changing. I love challenging myself to live like in a mesa. I love the colors. It's super fun. Or living in the lush jungle or the wide open plains where your possibilities are endless. I love all aspects of different biomes. They'll have their pluses and their negatives. I'll find all in all, I'm usually going to settle in some kind of spruce biome, which I haven't done at all on this channel, but I love a spruce biome. It just seems very cozy. It reminds me of an area close to where I live. It's so fun. I grew up in a place with huge and large trees, so I think it just feels always like home anytime I'm there. This is a more techie question. What microphone do you use? You always sound so crisp and clean. Well, thank you. I've done a lot of tweaking to make that the reality. I actually don't use anything special. I'll link it in the description if you're interested, but I use the 5-in Ampli Gaming USB microphone. I mainly got it because it's pink and it changes colors and it's super small and compact, so it's easy to put away or move around if needed. I think the main thing that makes it really crisp and clear is a lot of the software I have on the other side of it, but that's what I use. The next question is, do I watch or listen to anything while doing your builds? I totally get the trouble focusing on a game. I always get all discombobulated, distracted. My brain is very on the go and I like to keep myself busy. The way my desk is set up, I have 2 monitors, so I really like to have something playing that I'm honestly watching more than I'm watching my game run, which is strange. So I usually watch more long play videos. I like to have some commentary, so any video that's a more long form content I will usually watch, especially if it's a very developed series that I can just run while I'm building or mining. Especially my Forever World videos, they're filmed silently, and in editing I go back over and add in the commentary, which is different than normal, so it gives me a ton of time to just watch YouTube videos. So that's usually what I'm watching, or I'll listen to some music. I love very jazzy music. I love jazz, so that's often what I have playing or running to watch on the side of my content. So hopefully that answers your question. I think just find a series that you enjoy, maybe one that's really well developed so you can stick with something. I find if I have a consistency in a series, I will watch it and my brain will know, okay, I'm gonna stay locked into what I'm doing in my world right now because I have my series on the side. Same with music, it's just how your brain works sometimes. Okay, this comment has a couple questions in it. So cool that you're watching all the way from South Asia. Welcome to the channel. I'm so glad you're here. I will just start answering one by one. So my favorite Minecraft YouTuber, probably, I don't know. I don't think I have a favorite. I love a lot of the ones I showed you guys earlier in the video. It would probably be one of those because that's just what I watch most frequently. I'm guessing favorite artist is music based on the next question. I don't think I really have a favorite artist or even a favorite song. I just kind of listen to whatever and whoever comes on. I'm known for just playing my liked songs in the car, so you get a mix of everything on my Spotify. As far as what inspired me to start my channel, I don't know if I think I kind of answered this earlier. I was just looking for a creative outlet in a space I felt like I could personally thrive. I didn't do it for any goals or expectations, but I truly did it because I enjoy it. Also, I did skip over a question. Other games I play outside of Minecraft, as far as PC games, I kind of play all other Minecraft games like Minecraft Dungeons. I played Minecraft Story Mode when that was a thing. I love the Minecraft genre of games. Every now and then I'll play some FPS games. Sometimes I'm really bad. I used to be good, but then I stopped playing games, and then when I tried to play, it was embarrassing. And I'm very self-competitive. Knowing I could do better and I wasn't able to was the worst thing ever for me. But I'll play like Valorant. I've played League of Legends only if my friends like beg me to do it, otherwise I will not. And then there's a lot of games I like to just play that are more silly games. Like there's a game called Party Animals, which is so fun. I make my friends play with me and it's like a hoot. Stardew Valley is a super fun game I love. Fields of Mysteria, all farming sim games I love when I need to be chill and just have some relaxed time. I think there's more, but that's what I can think of off the top of my head. And my favorite color is pink. If you go in my room or my space, you will find pink everything. My house is all very neutral color decorations with pink accents everywhere. That's just my favorite color. If you looked at my clothes, you wouldn't know, but everything I own is pink one way or another. And this is actually our last comment of the video, but there are 15 questions. So let's get into these and then we will finish up this quick little Q&A. Question 1 is, if you were to start a new Minecraft series, what would it be? This is a super exciting question. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I have some really cool ideas in mind for some things coming soon. But I like to finish what I started, so I just want to find a good wrap up to the current series I have running, minus this Forever World. This will be an eternal series here, hopefully. Probably that's the goal of a Forever World, right? Also, if you're watching the video, I'm getting absolutely wrecked by these pillagers. I just ran because they kept spawning and it was freaking me out. I'm going to skip question 2 about games I play outside of Minecraft because I just answered that. And then what is my favorite type of Minecraft build? I would say right now it's the more medieval style of builds. Somebody left a comment giving me all of the factual things of a medieval build, and I love it. That's my favorite style right now. And I would say overall a more cottagey fairy tale build is what I'll go for. Favorite song, I really don't have, and a favorite singer and celebrity, I also feel like I don't have. I'm sorry, I'm a very boring person. As far as like celebrities and artists, I think they're all incredibly talented, but I wouldn't really say I have a favorite. Number 6 is, what is my upload schedule? As of now, it's Monday being my Forever World, Wednesday being my hardcore series, and Friday being my modded series. Number 7 is my tips and tricks in Minecraft. Oh my goodness, I don't think I'm good enough at this game to even be eligible to give tips and tricks. I die all the time. I'm not that great. I would say my first tip is to make sure you can sleep through the first couple nights of your world, because otherwise you'll be absolutely destroyed because you have nothing. You're bare bones in the game. But seriously, like, I don't really have any because I'm not that great. Give me tips and tricks. Next is, would you make a Discord server? Maybe at some point. I don't really use Discord that often. I'm not very good at it. But maybe at some point, if that's something that people who are watching my videos or would be interested in, or would want kind of like a community server, could be something I would look into. But currently, probably not. Would I add subscribers to my world using the straw statue mod? I don't know. That could be cool. I think that would be fun. Probably not for this series, but that could be a fun way to incorporate you guys more in a different series. Would I make a mod or mod pack? I don't think I'm talented enough to make a mod, but I would love to make a mod pack. Most of the mod packs I play with, I make myself. Maybe someday I could release one, but as far as making a mod, no way. Next is, what is my favorite animal? Well, I have a dog and he's my absolute favorite in the whole world. You'll see him in every series Hello you guys, welcome back to the cafe and welcome back to another episode of my Forever World. We have a fun video planned today, so go ahead and come with me. So we start our journey today down in my chest room. This is my to-do list for today. I want to get a blacksmith built, a horse barn, and a honey hut, or a place for my beehives, apiary, whatever it's called. This is my list for today. I made this little book with some things I want to get done at some point. Before we get to any of that, I actually wanted to name some animals. So I got a name suggestion for my dog named Bria. I love that there is a Scottish background to this name because my fiance is from Scotland, so that's pretty cool. Next thing I wanted to do was name my axolotls. You guys left so many names, but I loved the one where we named them Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup because it's Powerpuff Girls. So those are the names we're going to do for today. Obviously, I don't have name tags for the axolotls, but when I do, we will name them. Next thing I wanted to do was start gathering some resources for our first build of the day, which is going to be the blacksmith. But I quickly found out I don't have what I need, so I had to make a trip down to my mine. I also built this staircase. This makes my life so much easier. But I found a huge deposit of what I needed and I just got away with mining. I decided to make some iron pickaxes because I'm not sure I'm ready to sacrifice my diamond ones just for mining up a bunch of blocks for building. Once I had what I need, I went ahead and left the mines and went to our build site and got set up. I wanted to do a lot of smelting for some stone, so I made a huge smelting area up here just to smelt some cobblestone so I could get some smooth stone and make some stone bricks. The last resource I needed to gather was some spruce wood because I never seem to have enough wood, so I think a tree farm is in our future, possibly. But I just bone mealed a couple trees and cut them down immediately and got myself a bunch of wood for this build. Then once I was finished with that, I decided to move back my barrels just a bit because I want all the builds to feel like they are in an area that makes it look complete. So as far as spacing wise, I just wanted to move it a couple blocks up, so I needed to move my barrels out of the way. And once I was finished with that, it was time to start our build. So this build is made out of mostly gray materials, as a very gray color palette, to tie in my wall with all of the builds in this area up here. The wall we built in 2 episodes ago is the one I'm talking about, and I just wanted it to kind of fleshly go together with what we're doing up here. So the 2 builds we're going to do today will be a very gray and slightly brown color palette, and I think one of the final builds I put up here, I kind of want to do a nice mix of everything if possible, just so it all ties in very nicely. So this blacksmith build is a bit small. On the side of the building facing my house, there's 2 bay windows. Actually, they're not bay windows, they're just big windows. I don't know what I'm saying. And the opposite side has no windows because we are going to put a big lava chimney on this side. That sounds like it's really bad. It's not. It actually looks quite nice. I sized down this build a bit more than what I was planning, just for the sake of size. I wanted to make sure I could fit some pathings in and just make it not too squishy up here. I just want it to look like it all fits nicely. For the roof, we went in with some spruce, mixing some block slabs and stairs. I added some little iron fences on the top and then just a couple lanterns on the roof so nothing spawns in up there. And of course, I did a good old fireplace overhang. And for the windows of this build, I actually did some trapdoors. Onto that lava chimney thing I was talking about, I needed to gather some lava, so I went down and picked up some lava and then got to work on a chimney. This is my attempt to tie in a bit of the red that's on both of the barns. In my mind, this is where you get your lava to do some smelting, but because lava is not an infinite source, we won't be taking this at any time. This will stay here forever. So once I had the lava set, I went around and just made the chimney look a bit more messy. I didn't make it perfect. I mixed in some walls, slabs, and stairs along the way just to get a nice peak at the top, but also just to make it look imperfect. Once that was done, I did another overhang of fire pits because that's my favorite thing to do ever. And then off to the side on the left, we're going to have one more section where we use some stone brick. And I just put 2 armor stands here, and later on I throw on some random pieces of armor just to make it look like this place is alive and being used. To finish it off, I popped on a little bit of a spruce roof, and this is the base of our build. So what I do from here is just some detail decorating work. I decided to have a nice flooring in this area because I figure if you're carrying lava back and forth, chances are you're not doing it on dirt, but rather stone. So that's what I did here. Now onto the inside. For our floor, I'm just doing plain stone. It's not smooth stone anymore. I guess it's just stone. So here is the stone, and then I do some trapdoor windows on the opposite side as well. I made 2 anvils. I went ahead and placed them down outside just to give some more detail. And then on the inside, I hung some lanterns on some chains. And then I also just had some random hanging chains as well. And after my lights were hung, I just plopped around a couple basic decorations that I had lying around to just give this area some life. Next, I wanted to get started on my horse barn, so I gathered a couple resources and made my way up to the build site. after the chickens, it was time for all of my sheep. I've dyed quite a few of my sheep. Every now and then I just need a random color of wool. I also have like some orange sheep, not sure why, but nevertheless, I just went ahead, gave them all a bunch of wheat just to populate the sheep even more. As you can see, I have sheep and cows for days, but apparently it's not enough for me because I went straight over to the cows and went ahead to breed those guys as well. It's a nice calming way to spend my evening in my forever world, I suppose, because I just randomly chose to do this after cutting down a bunch of trees. Since I spent the whole night breeding animals though, I went straight over to this open area afterwards to grow some spruce trees. Similar to what I did when I was building the blacksmith, I just needed a bit more spruce, and so I just instantly cut down any sapling that I bone mealed. And this is just super helpful to get some more wood. I just really keep thinking about the need for a tree farm. I'm always just so lazy to collect wood. I only get it when I need it, and I feel like I just need chests stocked with wood. Maybe we'll do that in the next episode. So this right here is going to be my horse stables. I'm going to have 3 pens and then 1 main building that just has some random stuff in it, like some horse armor, hopefully one day a bunch of saddles and some leads, all the things like that. I actually miscounted some blocks, so this front end will be built up and then I'll actually break it and replace it because I forgot to count right, I guess, in this moment. The build itself is a bit similar to the blacksmith as far as the way the roofing goes on the main building, but for the stalls, I wanted to go for a bit more of a slanted roof. Here's where I'm rebuilding that front end. It was totally not being able to count right in that moment. As far as the stalls, yeah, I wanted to go for more of a slanted roof. This actually caused me many problems, and I had to quit and go back many times, so that was dreadful. On the front and the back, there is a second floor window on both sides. This has a little wooden, I don't know, hanger. There's some wheat hanging from it, and it just looks like a little basket. I think it's cute and fun. So like the roof on the other end, it's just blocks having an end of a stone block. That doesn't make any sense, but you know what I mean. It has some trapdoors lining and a window on the side, and then on the opposite side facing the stalls, that's just a blank wall, 2 blocks thick actually. And here is that back window on the second floor again, and then I just popped a little single tile window above that. I did use some oak shutters, well, trapdoors for shutters. And I did some spruce for the flooring on the bottom and then slabs for the top floor. And then we just did a little slab staircase. The top floor is really only used for some barrels and wheat, so it's more of a decoration. And then the bottom, I put a crafting table and some barrels with leads and armor, all of that. I wanted the horses to have a little bit of some outside life because I wasn't able to give them like an open pasture. So each of their stalls has, I think it's 6 2x3 little pens on the back end, so they can choose to walk out and about if they want. I know that sounds really sad, but listen, I don't have space. I did a lot of chain and lanterns in this area. I feel like it fits kind of the vibe in our whole farmland. Each pen has a trough, some hay bales, and I go back through and I grow some wheat in the pens as well. Here's those pens I was talking about. They each have their own, so there's plenty of space per horse. Here is my little horsey that we've had on a lead for a few episodes now. Obviously, if I ever get more than 3 horses, we will need to either expand or build something completely different. Just going in and doing a little bit of furnishing and decorating on the insides. here is a random break. I found this guy sitting in my pond. I checked his trades and he had nothing great, so I just left him there. So to finish off, I wanted to put some little plant pots around just with some dirt and just make planter boxes, I guess. And then I put some decorative pots around. I like the way these look. I did accidentally butcher this one. It completely broke. I didn't even think to use my silk touch, but it was easily replaced. Currently, I don't think they have anything inside of them. I thought they fit well. And then I used some spruce trapdoors for my little planter boxes, and I popped some flowers on top. Next, I go around with the wheat. I do this for every build, wheat and pumpkins. I'm not quite sure why. I think I love the wheat and pumpkin. It matches with all of the spruce and leaves very well. So I just threw what I had kind of around in the area. I actually didn't have a ton. I'm pretty sure I go back in later and put some more around. I randomly decided to do a wheat harvest, I think because I wanted to plant wheat and put more hay bales in the stalls, and there was a horse up here, so I do decide to bring this one down to the stall as well, so 2 of the 3 are already filled. I think we're already outgrowing our horse barn. So I go ahead and take this one for a little journey down to our barn, and we now have 2 little horses. Maybe I'll breed them to make the 3rd, or maybe I'll wait till I find the 3rd. I'm not sure, but our barn is starting to look good. I think it fits in nicely. I really like it. It ties in with the blacksmith super duper well. Lastly, I go ahead and add some leaves around the area. I've been trying to not go so hard with the leaves. I love them and no one has complained, but I feel like just using leaves more as a vine rather than like bushes on a building is kind of the goal I'm trying to go for. Also, there is my very slanted thin roof. I'm not sure how I like it. Once the leaves are on, I think it looks fine, but the roof over the pasture or stalls isn't my favorite nor my best work, but we make it make do. And really, this is the final horse barn. And once I was done with that, I went and moved on to the pathing because, as you know, I have pathing connecting every part of my world up until this point. I have a little fork in the road going to the barn and the blacksmith building, so I just connected the path around the little middle section I have made. Then I went in with the leaves, fences, and lanterns that I do everywhere. No matter how many leaves get placed in the world, I will always do this. I also went and added a little makeshift path on the side of the horse barn because at some point I want to have some stairs right here just to go down into the forest, but maybe at some point there will be actual builds down there as well, but for now it is just forest. Also outside of the pig pen, I made a little path and then decided actually I just wanted to be all path blocks. So I went ahead and put paths everywhere around here. And that is our finished path. I added a lantern to the side and we're done. Now for the last build of today, the bee hut house building. Anyways, I'm using a lot of oak wood for this build as it is close to my house and oak wood is what I used, so I wanted to kind of match with the blocks in my house to keep everything all tied in. For this build, I had an idea to make it indoor-outdoor, so inside we'll have the bee nests and outside we will have the bee hives? Is that the difference between the two? The one that's wooden and then the hive? Whatever it is. Some are indoor, some are outdoor. So I thought it'd be really fun to allow the bees to go in and out as they please, and we'll be able to see bees floating around in our world, but still knowing that when they go home, they come to this build. To make it kind of like an apiary, I did a full glass roof connected with some wood, so we have a bit of wood and glass. I quite like how this looks. I think this is one of those roofs that I don't know if I'm fully in love with, but I actually think it fits the theme for the bee hut quite well. So I stick with it. I'm trusting the process that at some point it may grow on me or it may never, but for now this is what we have, and we have 3 different sections of the glass roofing separated by oak logs. On the top, I just decided to put some slabs and trapdoors around to add some more detail. Then I go in with some deep slate and some fences, but I actually end up changing this because I felt like it was too tall looking, like it just looked really high up. So I actually take down those fence gates as well as the fence walls and the deep slate walls. That was a lot of fence and walls, but I kept the lanterns to keep it bright, and then I went around with some trapdoors for some shutters on these single high windows, and of course did some leaves, hopefully to make myself fall in love with the build, because at this moment I was a bit unsure about it, but looking back now, I'm quite happy with it. It pushed me out of my comfort zone and I'm happy. I did some spruce fences on the inside to put the bee houses so we could keep those posted up on the indoor area. And then I continued the fences sporadically and randomly outside. And this is where I'll put the beehives so they can pollinate all of the flowers we have in this area, because there are so many in this area. And then I went around with some pots and flowers and put them on the outside as well as on the inside, just to fill this area with flowers everywhere the eye can see, giving the bees plenty of places to just pollinate and eat the flowers. No, I don't think bees eat the flowers. I think they just pollinate. Maybe they do. If you know if bees eat flowers, let me know. I got all of the hives placed, actually bee nests, and these are beehives. There we go. And here is the final look of our little bee hut, bee house, bee something. And we have honey for days. I did go and put some fireplaces in the bottom after quickly trying to collect the honey and honeycomb and realizing they will attack me very quickly. So this area is very full of bee nests and beehives. I absolutely love it. It feels so alive. It's so fun. Probably won't come in here too often, but if I need honey, we know we have a place. Now, before you forget, make sure you leave me some name ideas for the 2 horses I have in my barn. I have a light brown with white spots and a dark brown with a black back. I think that's what this variant is. Either way, they are so cute and they both need names. So please let me know if you have any name ideas for my cutie little horses. Last but not least, I wanted to get some enchanting done. I posted a long play for my members and we went mining and got so many diamonds. I have 51 levels from sitting at my zombie spawner for a little bit, so I wanted to try my hand at getting some good enchants. Just a hint, I don't do well. I use all of my levels to get down below 30 trying to get some enchants done. It just did not work out in my favor, and I have yet to get my perfect set of tools and armor. Time and time again, I just kept getting exactly what I didn't want to get. So this is still going to be a work in progress, and that is okay. But I did get a fire aspect upgrade on my sword, so that's a bonus. Once I felt defeated and was back down to 30 levels, I just left it as that, and we'll try again, we will try again, and I will get my perfect set of gear. Well, you guys, that is the end of this episode. Thank you so much for joining me in my forever world and here at the cafe. If you enjoyed, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my Minecraft Forever world. Today is a super exciting video because it is our 200th day in this world, and I'm so excited to have you here joining me at the cafe. Another exciting news is that we updated our world to the latest version 1.21.5. So in a long play, I went and collected some of the new items in the game, and today we're gonna decorate. I'll revisit it a little bit later, but I also set up a Discord server for you all. The link is in the description. So to get it out of the way, we are going to do some animal naming at the start of this episode. I have named my axolotls as you know, the Powerpuff Girls, but somebody let me know I actually don't need name tags for them, which thank you for letting me know, because every day it seems there's more and more I don't know about this game. So I went ahead and renamed their buckets, and we have them all named. Second, I got requested to name one of my horses Donkey, and I thought it would only be fitting not to name my steak, but to name the other horse Shrek. So now we have Donkey and we have Shrek for our two horses. What should the third horse be named once we get it? And I had a couple enchanting levels left over, so I decided to try my hand at getting myself a somewhat good bow. So I enchanted all of these broken bows I've collected over time, just until I got something that is good enough for now. So I ended up with something that's actually somewhat good. Once I had finished that, I decided to go home and get started on doing a bunch of crafting. I made some chiseled bookshelves, a couple smokers, and this is all in preparation to finally decorate my house, because it sat empty looking as if no one even lives in there, but I do. And so I just made a bunch of different decorative items we can use to make our house feel like a home. I of course made some barrels and some paintings for some cute little decorations, and now let's do a little ASMR building. Once I had finished decorating, it only seems fitting to craft myself a cake to place on the countertops of my newly furnished kitchen. But it really wasn't all that easy. I had to get the sugar, and I had to get 3 buckets of milk freshly milked from my cows up in my beloved little farm. I think this is my first time milking those cows. Anyways, after that, I went and got some wheat and a fresh egg from my sweet chickens, plus 16 more that, just part of the job. And then I went back home to craft the cake that now sits on my counter as a reminder of the day that we finally decorated our home. It only took us 200 days. Once I had put up my table for one, lit some candles, and filled the shelves with some books, I decided I probably needed some carpets because I'd imagine it's cold here at night and it just makes the house feel a bit more cozy. So I went to my very overpopulated sheep farm and just sheared away, mostly focusing on the white and pink because those are the color of carpets I want for my house. White and pink, because pink's my favorite color. Because I decided it was a good idea to shear half of my sheep population, I did have a lot of leftover carpet even after putting it on my first and second floor in my house. So I decided as an attempt to begin furnishing my little watchtower, whatever you want to call this, I decided to put some up in my bedroom up here and down at the bottom surrounding the crafting table. We'll get here at some point. This will look like a little farmhouse at some point, but today is not that day. I told you guys at some point I would get back to talking about it, but I did put together a Discord server for all of the little cafe community. I want it to be a safe place where we can make friends, have movie nights, play games together, talk about Minecraft, talk about our favorite coffee drink, things like that. I'll leave the link in the description if you would like to join. I think it would be fun for us all to have a space together, and it seems as though after setting up a poll for you guys, you all want that too. So I hope to see you over on the Little Cafe Discord server soon. In a long play for my channel members, I went around getting all of the new update decorative items like the leaf litter, the flower piles, and of course my favorite firefly bushes. So I thought today it would be a good idea to finally decorate my farm because I also decorated my house. So I took some sweet berries, the leaf litter, and some flowers, and we're gonna go off to decorate my area. I also put a smithing table in here, but I realized we're actually gonna have a smith build at some point, so this is probably temporary. And then I began going around placing some sweet berries in some various spots. Although I did decide getting some bone meal so these guys can grow immediately is probably the best idea. Not before I put a couple down on my stairway as well though. So I made my way back home into my chest room and just grabbed some bone meal because one, it would be helpful for the sweet berries, but two, we can even expand our firefly population with some bone meal. So I just wanted to put a couple around because the particles and the ambient sound I think is perfect for the vibe we're going for in our area. So I just began putting firefly bushes everywhere, and then went back through and placed a couple more sweet berries as well as bone mealed the ones I had already put down. And I will go back and bone meal the one that I forgot just now. I want this area to feel alive, so I went ahead and bone mealed a couple more firefly bushes just so I can have a few more, and we'll do that again later too. So I just continued decorating with the leaf litter, the bushes, the fireflies, and the little yellow flowers, even up in my barn area. Seeing as we've reached another 100-day milestone in this world, I felt like in this episode I just wanted to take more time really enjoying every aspect of the world we have built, honestly, together. We've named things, we've had build ideas, and it's been a group effort project from the start. So there'll probably be lots of moments in this video where things are just a bit slower than normal. I'm walking around more, I'm speeding less things up, and just really enjoying our world. Also, while I was by my horses, I decided to do some pathing outside of their pasture as if it's a heavily traveled area, which I do in most of my barn builds, and this was my first area using the leaf litter. Same as last time, I just wanted to take some time and say thank you. Thank you for being here for another whole 100 days in our forever world. Through the long plays, the episodes, long or short, even though short's kind of relative, it's still 20 minutes. You've been here and you've stuck with me. And in these 2 months, I feel like we have accomplished so much as a channel, going from 0 to 3,000 subscribers in what feels like to me such a short time. So whoever you are, wherever you are, I just want to say thank you, and I am beyond appreciative for you and your constant support for me and my channel. I wouldn't be where I am today without each and every one of you, and this has very quickly become something that I can do on the side, but also something I fully enjoy. So I just want to say thank you for making these first 2 months of our channel the best ever. You've allowed me to take something I enjoy that truly was just a hobby and make it something amazing. So thank you. As I continued building our paths up with some flowers, I did gather some bees behind me, so I decided we would breed a cute little baby bee. And they're so tiny and cute. To think that in the first episode, these bees were after me trying to take my life, and I fled on a boat. The memories. After I had finished all of the surrounding areas, I went back to my home and I duplicated a lot of these firefly bushes with some bone meal. I did as much as I could before breaking them and just popping a few more around at the base of some trees. Then the fireflies just fly up into the trees. I used my last few yellow petals to make this little pathway going up this staircase that still leads to nothing. Don't worry, we will solve that problem later. I also realized I'm gonna have to go find that birch forest again and get more of these leaves because I am pretty much all out of my cute little flowers. I popped down a few more firefly bushes before realizing that this area looks incredible with all of the particles floating around from our firefly friends. The ambience, the little specks of fireflies was so beautiful, and I'm so glad we were able to put this in our world. While adventuring, I found this bottle of Enchanting, and I thought it would be a fun idea to put it on the wall because I'll probably never find one again, and what is one bottle of Enchanting really gonna do for me? So I went ahead and made an item frame and I popped it right up by this chest where we used to keep the beehives. Look at that thing, sparkling and glistening. I went ahead and went to sleep and woke up and decided I chose violence today. I happened to go on an absolute cow killing spree and I'm not quite sure why, but the good news is I now have food for, I don't know, probably forever. My sword has fire aspect, so it just cooks it immediately for me, which is quite handy when killing a bunch of animals. I don't know what I was doing, it's terrible. But also my FPS like dropped insanely when I come in this area because of all the cows, sheep, and chicken, so it was probably for the best. And once I threw out a bit of seeds, I went straight over to the chickens and I thinned out the herd a little bit. Just a touch. I just got rid of a few and then I went inside to get my freshly grilled chicken, the feathers and the eggs. One did escape, don't worry. We go after him. This poor chicken was trying to get away from me, but I did find it and I did get my dinner. I went to sleep again, but today, instead of killing animals, I grabbed my to-do list book and decided it would be a good idea to build some construction zones for some future builds of our world. I have a bunch of ideas in this book, and I thought I would take some wood, take some signs, and kind of plot out the land for all of my future builds. Or at least a couple. I definitely don't do all of them. So this right here to the right of the sheep will be the lumber mill or wood hut, whatever name we decide to come up with. And then over by the horse pen, I decided to do another build that will look similar to the blacksmith area. And this will be specifically for tools, the toolsmith. I decided it was a good idea just to get a little temporary path so I don't forget to do one later on. So we will be back to finish the path. Right down over here, I thought it'd be a cute idea to do a little fisherman's hut. It'll be an on-land and off-land hut, so I didn't really build this one out. I just popped down a little log and we called it good. We'll come back to this though. I checked a couple things off my list and we moved on to the next thing. Once I was finished with that, I made my way over to the enchanting area, but instead of going in, we went up, and I got to work clearing out this forest. It was pretty thinned out anyway, because let's be honest, I come here and cut down trees all the time. which is why we need the little lumber carpenter hut, because I'm constantly clearing out this poor forest. But I leveled it out a bit, did a tiny bit of terrain on this little hill, and cut down almost all of the trees. This will probably be our biggest build right now. And it's going to be the villager trading hall, but instead of a trading hall, I'm going to do a villager trading tavern. It'll be kind of like a hotel with beverages. Do you see what I get? Like, it's kind of a fun idea. I thought it would be a good idea to light this up since it was quite a big empty area. I then made my way up this little hill that we worked on terraforming, and I did chop down a couple trees, and then I quickly decided I did not want to clear out a whole second forest. So I cut down 2 trees, and we'll come back to this later, but this is where we're going to put our iron farm. I thought since it was close to the villagers, maybe that's cruel, I don't know, but we do need an iron farm. I think it'll be a great addition. I updated my list and went ahead and checked those off. I really wanted to find a spot for our market stands, so I went into free cam and looked around, and this little island caught my eye. I thought if we disconnected it from the stone and made it a full island, that could look pretty cool. To have like a whole island full of trading and fun markets and stalls. So I went to bed and decided to revisit it in the morning. But morning came and I still thought it was a great idea, so I hopped in the little lake for a swim and I made my way over to that island. With some terraforming, some trees, some planting, and getting rid of these skeletons, I think we have a nice piece of land here for a trading outpost, trading island. We'll come up with a clever name for it at some point. So, like everywhere else, I put down my log, I put down my sign, and it is the Island of Trading Markets. We're gonna have to workshop that a little bit. But the last thing I wanted to do over here was just disconnect the island from the stony shores. I think we're gonna need to make this look a bit better somehow. Talking about the stony shores, because it just doesn't really fit in. Nevertheless, I went ahead and crossed off another thing from the list. And now we just need to actually build all of these things we've went and set out for today. Anyways, we'll get to it at some point. I went back across the little lake, river, pond, whatever you want to call it, and I went up our hill and decided there was one more thing I wanted to put back here. Down around where the carpenter's hut is, there is this big open land that's not very flat. It's gonna need some work, but I thought this would be a great spot for all of our trees to go, because we need some sort of tree farm, some place to build the trees, grow the trees, whatever you want to say. So I decided to put an actual tree farm back there. Back into free cam, I needed to figure out where I want to put all of my other farms, for sugarcane, for cactus, for pumpkins, for melons. And I thought this area behind the horse barn would be perfect because we did clear out a lot when we were collecting wood, as always. So I didn't give too much detail, but I did say we were going to put it here at some point. I went ahead and crossed off all of those things. I think lists are the most rewarding thing ever because you get to cross it off as you go. The last thing I wanted to lay out was actually a build requested by one of you, which was to build a cafe. And if you think about it, that kind of makes a lot of sense because this is my channel. But there was this little opening that looked like a perfect spot for a hobbit hole, and I just haven't gotten around to it. Well, this is where the cafe is gonna go. So last but not least, we are crossing off the cafe from our list for today. I went ahead and put it back on the table, and there we have it. Well, you have made it to the end. I do really hope you have enjoyed watching my 200 days journey so far on my forever world. We have lots more to come. Let me know your thoughts down below, and maybe you consider subscribing. I appreciate you being here and thank you for joining me at the cafe. Bye-bye.